Oh man. Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. It's time for a review and... oh wait, this isn't a review. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna stop being a sour puss, and I'm just gonna like doing this segment from now on. I'm just gonna like doing it. Not gonna be cranky when it comes to it from now on. You know, and a couple people have commented saying that, ooh, I'm using this segment to make fun of bands and herp derp, herp derp, 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 derp. That's not the case. I'm not trying to come on here to Why You Know review and make fun of people or refuse to review records. It's just that I'm one guy. I can't review everything. And this is my way of kind of touching down on numerous releases that I haven't gotten to, and hopefully you guys can, based on my descriptions, go check them out for yourselves. So, Cal, if you will, why didn't I review The Thing?
Hi everybody, Cal Chester here, roommate, nerd, music, mustache, guy. It's time for our monthly segment called Why You Know Review, where we talk about the reasons why certain releases, albums, songs, eps have passed by Anthony, not reviewed, not video, didn't do it, nope. And we're going to start over here, Why You Know Review, the new Blurt House Nerd Sophistication.
Yes, Bloodhouse Nord, black metal outfit, heavyweights, and they've been coming out with albums in sort of this 777 series. 2 albums have dropped from this series so far, from what I understand. Sects and The Desanctification. And on these releases so far, these guys have really kind of reinvented themselves to not just be a black metal band, but incorporate heavy elements of industrial music too. And, you know, not that the change is bad. I think it's great that these guys want to move away from their really black metal roots. Agalloch did that on Marrow with the Spirit, did more acoustic and folk stuff, sounded fantastic, as well as Ulver, too. Many of you may know, switched up their black metal sounds into their career and had fantastic results. However, I feel like the drum beats on here and the production and the vocals, it just hasn't added up into, you know, the best industrial that I've ever heard. There are still some black metal elements on these 2 releases, especially the first one, but, you know, I'm just not that into them. The sounds really aren't wowing me, the songs really aren't wowing me, the vocals aren't really wowing me. You know, if the idea of a black metal industrial combo excites you, then definitely check out the new Bloodhouse Nord releases.
Alright, Why You Know reviewed the new Sepulchre album.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of requests for this one, and, you know, I've listened to it, returned to it, and I just kind of thought it was okay. I actually reviewed an album that came from one of the producers of this project earlier this year. He produced the new Machine Drum album, Rooms. You know, Sepulchre definitely, even though they are American producers, follow the UK style of this music by the book. And overall, I think these guys make a really kind of catchier version of this future garage sound, something that's really kind of accessible. And while it is accessible, it's really easy to listen to. This record didn't really make an impression on me. It didn't really seem to take all that many risks to me, I guess. Even though that Machine Drum album is not one of my favorites of the year, I definitely prefer that over this. But, you know, I kind of felt the same way about the EP that got dropped before this album that I've heard, so it's not like there's really any love loss here for me. You know?
Okay, that checks out. Why You Know review the new Lupe Fresco album. Lupe Fresco.
Yeah, tons of people asked me to review this, and I'm not sure why. The new Lupe Fiasco mixtape. I mean, maybe people just wanted to see me give another negative review. I have no clue, but you guys know what's going on here. If you don't, you know, Lupe Fiasco came out with Lasers earlier this year. He was rapping over a bunch of like clubby electro beats. It was not well received by many people. And from what I've read, he sort of blamed this sound change on his label a little bit, and now he's kind of turned around and he's rapping over the same kind of beats, these electro and house-like beats on this new mixtape. A lot of the beats off this mixtape actually come from the new Justice LP. This mixtape is alright to me. The rapping is more prominent, and this thing does not have the sugary hooks that were really turning me off all over Lasers. And there's a really nice spot on here where he's flowing very well over a Coltrane sample. But overall, I just wasn't into it. I mean, I wasn't into the electronic direction on Lasers. I'm not into the electronic direction on here. And to just add insult to injury, it's very apparent that Lupe is doing this on his own. His label is not forcing him to rap over these kinds of beats. So yeah, that's how I feel about Friend of the People. I would love to maybe go back and forth with you guys a little bit on this mixtape in the comments, possibly.
Alright, but why you no review the new Trashed Tic Tac? Trash Tac. Yep.
The new Trash Talk EP. I don't really have a reason or an excuse for not reviewing this. It just kind of slipped by me. I just didn't get to it. But these guys are a band that combines elements of hardcore punk and power violence with very modern, thick, heavy production. I'm not really in love with a lot of their riffs. They don't really stick with me all that much, but the aggression and the intense vocals are there. Some pretty catchy hooks on a track or two on this thing as well. Just some really strong vocals, good production, muscular drumming. If you're into hearing some modern hardcore punk with a modern flavor, try it out.
Alright, but what about the new Mr. Ozio Statty 2? Why you no review of that?
Yeah, the new Mr. Oizo. I've never really been a big Oizo fan. Even when French electro and house artists were getting a lot of play in 2007 and 2008. Even when he worked on the soundtrack for one of my favorite movies this year, Rubber. On his last album, I thought the beats and everything were a little generic, but there were some pretty good tracks on that thing. Now, on this LP, I would say there is more personality. Definitely. There's more weirdness and quirkiness in the synth sounds that he chooses and the vocal samples too. But it hasn't really added up to an interesting album for me. It's just kind of added up to a silly, like a little bit like trashy album, especially with the track Douche Beat. I'm sure this album sounds a lot better and feels a lot better when you're in a club setting, but it's not really something I would listen to by myself to like review, you know? That's all.
Okay. Thank you for watching the Why You Know Review segments hosted by your Calcio Chesta over here, me, host, internet's roommate nerd guy. Appreciate it. Anthony, close this. Good day.
I love you, Calcio Chesta. Hey guys, lists are coming next week, and you can go down there in the D-Box to see a few more explanations for other releases that have kind of slipped by me this year. It's been an awesome year. Can't wait to drop these lists next week. It's going to be awesome. You can expect the first list on Monday. It's going to be a list of my favorite music videos, favorite EPs, favorite singles with a few tracks sort of sprinkled for my favorite albums of the year, and full-length albums. Okay?